A woman is found dead in a locked hotel room. No signs of struggle, no witness, no escape route. The poison that killed her works in seconds, yet her body lies as if she simply fell asleep. This isn't fiction. This is a real case from British India. One so strange that it baffled courts, inspired the queen of crime, Agatha Christie. I am Shalit Jimmy, and this is my channel where I talk about books, stories, and the magic they leave behind. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of the world famous character Sherlock Holmes, always had a deep interest in unusual cases. Knowing this, his friends would often send him details of strange incidents from different parts of the world whenever they came across one. In April 1912, to be precise, shortly after the world shaking tragedy of the Titanic, the ship that had set sail claiming it would never sink, Doyle received a letter from another famous writer and friend, Rudyard Kipling. It said, "Dear Doyle, a murder has taken place in India. It is one of the strangest murders ever known, utterly impossible and unbelievable in every sense." Kipling had received details of this case from a friend who worked at the Pioneer newspaper in Allahabad, British India. The murder had occurred in Mussoorie, a town in the foothills of the Himalayas. This was during the time of British rule in India. Though Mussoorie was not as famous as Simla back then, it still had hotels, boarding houses, small military camps, and private schools for European children. In the summer of 1911, a British woman named Miss Frances Garnet Orme came to stay in a suite at the well-known Savoy Hotel there. She had just celebrated her 49th birthday. She had originally come to India intending to marry her lover, who worked there. But fate was cruel. He died prematurely. Devastated by his death, she left India. That period was marked by the growing influence of spiritualism, the belief that one could communicate with the spirits of the dead through mediums. Madame Blavatsky, a leading proponent of spiritualism, often stayed in Simla at the time. Around this period, Frances's father also passed away. Unable to cope with the loss of both her lover and her father, Frances returned to India with the hope of communicating with their spirits. During this visit, she stayed at the Savoy Hotel and met Eva Mount Stephen, another British woman who believed strongly in spiritualism. This meeting would completely alter the course of Frances's life. However, reports about Eva raised serious doubts about her character. One such claim was that Eva had told her friends that she would soon come into a large sum of money, and that this knowledge had been revealed to her during seances with spirits. This naturally raised suspicions. There was also widespread talk that Eva was manipulative and cunning. It was during this time that Frances took Eva under her wing. Whether their relationship went beyond spiritualism remained a question mark. They were in Lucknow together before traveling to Mussoorie in April 1912. Electricity had not yet reached Mussoorie then. They checked into the Savoy Hotel and began living there. Built in 1902 in English Gothic style, the Savoy Hotel stood at one end of Mussourie's famous Library Bazaar. Its Gothic architecture alone was enough to evoke an eerie, ghostly fear at first glance. They planned to move to a place called Jhansi for the winter. Eva went alone to Lucknow to bring their belongings. It was during her absence that one morning Frances was found dead in her room. The room was locked from the inside. A small glass sat on a table beside her bed. Although it initially appeared to be suicide, something felt amiss. Major Birdwood, a civil surgeon, was called in, and a post-mortem examination was conducted. It revealed that Frances had died after ingesting prussic acid. Prussic acid kills within minutes, leaving no time for the victim to act afterward. It also causes severe bodily convulsions. Yet Frances's body lay in a calm, almost peaceful posture, as though she were asleep, deepening the mystery. Many witnesses gave conflicting and unreliable accounts, adding to the confusion. Further investigation led to detailed questioning of Frances's doctor, and he said Frances, who suffered from indigestion, had been prescribed sodium bicarbonate, which she consumed daily from a large bottle. Traces of a white powder were found in this bottle. Eventually, Eva Mount Stephen was arrested. Rumors spread that Francis's murder was a result of a conspiracy between Eva and the doctor. However, there was no concrete evidence against Eva, and the court acquitted her. After all, how could Eva have committed the murder when she was in Lucknow at the time of death? This was a crucial question before the court. So, who really killed Francis? If Eva did it, how? The room was locked from the inside. Eva had an alibi, and yet the poison acted instantly. Could someone else have used Eva as a cover? And how did Francis's body appear so peaceful despite ingesting such a violent poison? Too many questions remained unanswered. While delivering the verdict, the judge remarked, "It may well be that the circumstances leading to Francis's death can never be proven." These words proved prophetic. Hoping the resident of 221B Baker Street might take up the case, Kipling sent the story to Conan Doyle. However, some believe Doyle declined out of reluctance to craft a story set in India. Yet the case did capture someone else's imagination, none other than Agatha Christie, the undisputed queen of detective fiction. Though she did not use India as a setting, she drew inspiration from this case to write her first novel, The Mysterious Affair at Styles. In Christie's story, the villain was strychnine, a deadly poison. In those days, the idea of remote controlled murders was unheard of. Today, we hear stories of pacemakers being hacked to kill, but Francis's death back then was astonishingly ahead of its time. Many believed Eva Mount Stephen was involved, especially when she later went to court claiming rights over Francis's property. However, the verdict favored Francis's relatives. If we follow Agatha Christie's logic, perhaps prussic acid had been mixed into the bottle of sodium bicarbonate. Since Francis took it daily without coercion, the murderer may have calculated with precision that she would consume it herself. That might explain how the murder occurred. Still, the serene appearance of a body poisoned with prussic acid seems to suggest something else, something no investigator has yet been able to fully comprehend. In later years, many stories circulated that Francis's spirit continued to wander in the corridors of Savoy Hotel as a guest who refused to leave. Though the hotel remained closed for years, it was renovated and reopened to tourists in 2009 by ITC Welcome Group Hotels.